Hey guys, Chef Richard here from Pink Salt Restaurant. Today we're coming to you from Reparation Farm. Myself is here. I'm out with Joe McCarthy,
Hello.
owner of Reparation Farm. We just want to highlight some of the produce that Reparation Farm have to offer. It's an organic farm. It's non-GMO and everything here. It's super delicious. I'm telling you, after we do the tour today, you will love to come by and check out Joe at Reparation Farm.
And I just want to thank Chef Richard for coming out and showing you exactly what we do out here in Green Cove Springs and show you how we do some aquaponic farming. So feel free to come on in. That's for you.
Hey guys, so we are actually in the farm itself, and I have Joe here with me, and he's gonna give you some highlights on some of the produce that we have, and some highlights on the difference between hydroponics and aquaponic, because a lot of people don't know the difference, and I had to be educated myself on what a hydroponic farm is and an aquaponic farm. So Joe, just give some highlights.
100%. So here we utilize aquaponics is the way that we grow our lettuce and different vegetables. So the difference really with aquaponics is we utilize fish. We have tilapia out here that's all naturally fed, non-GMO fish food. They have plenty of space to live. They live a good life. And just through that process of, with the fish, when they live their daily lives, generally it produces ammonia, gets broken down and a bunch of scientific stuff, but it turns into plant food. And that's what you'll see that actually feeds our plant beds, is more or less the nitrate from the fish that comes down, feeds this, and comes back around. The other advantage to aquaponics is environmental. So not only does it taste great, the environmental aspect of it is truly amazing. We use a fraction of what it actually would take a farmer in the field to produce a head of lettuce, as opposed to what we can do here. So it's environmentally safe, non-GMO, safe to eat, all that fun stuff, all by utilizing fish in a high-quality non-GMO fish food.
Yeah, and some of the produce, I mean, I have had a lot of the stuff here from Joe Farm. They're so fresh. I mean, you can pick them and eat them right away. And these days where people are moving to more of a farm to table, this is literally a farm to table where you take the stuff out. I mean, if you want to wash, you can wash. If you don't have to wash. And you can cook it or eat it right away. And it makes a difference because people know that there are no chemicals in their food. There are no herbicides or pesticides in their food. So they don't have to worry about the health reason, you know, where, okay, I'm getting some lettuce, you know, what kind of chemical do you use in your lettuce? You know, there's none. I can tell you that I have eaten a lot of these lettuce just by picking them and eating them right away. I just had my breakfast, which is like 4 tomatoes.
So, I wasn't going to turn them in on the tomato things, but yeah,
they're actually really delicious, you know, to just come, and it's so nice to walk in the farm and you can actually pick the produce and eat it right away. So, you know, Joe, if you want to tell us about some of these stuff, what kind of lettuce we have here.
100%. So what we have here, we have our butter lettuce, butter varieties on this side, and we keep our romaine more or less on that side. So again, kind of experimenting a little bit. So we have some just butter Rex is what we call it. Some red butter, green oak, and then we have a combination of green and red oak. So we kind of limit our varieties a little bit of what we found that really tastes great and just really provides a really good meal for chefs and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it's I mean, these butter lettuce, they're so good when you get them as a chef because they don't have any dirt under the bottoms. You don't have to worry about the dirt factor of, oh, am I going to give somebody a salad with dirt in it?
Correct.
You know, the taste is actually different from other tastes of other lettuce. They taste like butter, like their name. I mean, they're really good. And you know, if you want to experiment or experience the butter lettuce taste, you can either come to Pink Salt or you can come to Joe.
He cooks better than I do, so I'd probably go to Pink Salt. But hey, if you want something all natural, come out to us. But the cool thing, even what Chef Richard's talking about it local, it's so important to stay local. This isn't transported all the way from California. We're reducing our carbon footprint, and it just tastes so much better when you have it. I mean, this is live lettuce. How closer can you get to that?
Yeah, I mean, you get it. It's basically live out of the water still. I mean,
right
it's fresh. I mean, again, we're talking about fresh and farm to table. This is fresh. We're going to highlight some more of the produce that Joe have. I mean, Joe, what type of lettuce are these?
Yeah, so over here we have our romaine. So we have some Sparks, Monte Carlo, Fusion. So obviously there's some different blends that we're doing. So we just really like to look not only presentation-wise, because it's so important, obviously, in the restaurant industry.
Yes.
And I know Chef Richard strives to have, obviously, beautiful looking and delicious. So really, with our farm, we actually do the same thing. We're looking for high-quality, all-natural ingredients that Chef Richard can use in his restaurant to not only present it well, but taste great. With that, Chef Richard, what we have over here, so we really, speaking of the environmental aspect of it, so environmentally we're really sound. We do not waste a lot of water. So when we're cleaning our system and the whole process, we have some sump tanks that come back over here. And with those sump tanks, what we do is we recollect that water and we'll reutilize all that nitrate-rich water and utilize all the fish fertilization, if you will. And then we use it into our media beds. And when our media beds is we can grow different things. We have some kale grown, which is really great, obviously very nutritious. Experimenting with some melons, tomatoes, as Chef Richard had said before.
Yeah.
Tastes pretty great.
Really good.
And some different types of herbs. So we have some mint growing, dazzle pepper, that type of stuff. But yeah, it's all natural, all fresh.
Yeah, go back to the kale, which we have over here. A lot of kales these days, they take a lot of pesticides and herbicides to keep them growing from fungus, because kale is one of those things that when you get them in the restaurant, they're full with fungus. So a lot of people don't know that kale actually have high pesticide content in them. But when you get it from an aquaponic farm, you don't have the pesticide that you would use, or the herbicides that you would use to. I mean, they are fresh kale for all those Weight Watchers people out there that
100%.
wants to do their kale diet, their kale juicing and stuff. Again, you come to Joe, you get your kale, you're good to go. You can take your blender with you here.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Blend it to go.
Some outlets, and we have a little juice bar.
Juice bar, right.
And so this also, you brought up another great point. So within aquaponics, obviously, because we're environmental, all natural, we do not use any pesticides or herbicides. So with that being said, we do get pests, or like whiteflies, for example, aphids. We do have sometimes it comes in. How we combat that is beneficial insects. So we'll have beneficial insects come in, combat that, and so that keeps it all natural, like you're out in the wilderness without any, again, man-made crap.
Chemicals. Right. So if you take a look at these melons here, I mean, they are beautiful. You can see, Joe said, when will these be ready, Joe?
About a week.
About a week. I mean, these are nice, fresh melons that you'll get nowhere else but at Reparation Earth. And then we have some, what do we have here, Joe?
Actually, we have some yellow squash below here. So again, we're kind of experimenting a little bit. We tried some zucchini as well. It's kind of hit its life cycle, but again, that's what's so exciting about it. We can go ahead and try some different things. And so more of an experimental, and also like just seasonal. So we're really practicing on doing our seasonal vegetables, just to kind of make the time right and try to push it.
Yeah, and like Joe said with seasonal, we were just talking about our menu at Pink Salt. We do have a seasonal menu, so some things you may not get when they're not in season. So, the seasonal make it even better because it makes you want it the next time it comes around.
100%.
Opposed to having it year round where you can get it so much. But these tomatoes are actually, you can see, Joe, I think I ate all your tomatoes, but these tomatoes, they are really, really, really good. I mean, they're sweet, they're just everything. I mean, I'm getting into lunch phase right now. So
I'm getting hungry myself.
They're really good. I mean, I think I ate all the tomatoes, Joe.
That's quite all right.
It's only green ones that are left.
So yeah, again, we have some tomatoes growing, and again, trying some different things out from there. What I'd really like to do is kind of show everyone kind of how we start here at Reparation Earth as far as with our seeds. All our seeds are non-GMO, high quality seed. So we go ahead and they sit in this tray for about 12 days. And then from there, what we do is go ahead and put them into it's called an NFT tray. So they sit there for another 12 days, and then they go onto the rafts or into the media beds from there. And it's about 40 days from seed to fruition from a head of lettuce.
And I think we have one of the big things that most chefs are using now, microgreens.
Yes.
Microgreens, they're not cheap. And, for chefs to buy them, and people look at their plates, they're like, oh my God, it's so pretty. But, it takes a lot of work for microgreens to come in place. So, I mean, you have some, what do you have here, Joe?
Arugula. Actually, so we have arugula microgreens growing back here. So again, one thing at Reparation Earth that we want to try to do is that we believe in sustainability. So we don't do a lot of waste. As far as when we use a media called rock wool in our seeds. And so let's say if something doesn't germinate, we go ahead and reuse that rock wool and we'll put it down into, reuse it for our microgreens. So that adds as like a media structure. And so what we're doing now is arugula, because again, being more seasonal, hopefully the temperature is cooling down a little bit. So arugula is more of a cold water plant.
Yeah.
So we're trying some arugula, which you tried before.
And they are really sweet. I mean, the arugula normally arugula tastes a little bitter-ish, but these are like buttery, sweet arugula. They're really good. So keep putting more sugar in those arugula.
I definitely will. And what's also another important point with microgreens is the nutrient level in microgreens. It's just, I mean, it's a young, fertile plant. And so it really, I mean, you have the nutrients in it, you have the flavor, and it just bursts with flavor.
Yeah. So, and we're gonna go back to the cooling system that you use.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, which is really a unique cooling system.
So this is actually called a wet wall. Many people in Florida will commonly know it as a swamp cooler, but this saves our behind in the summertime. Obviously, being from Florida, we try to keep it as environmentally controlled as possible. So this kind of helps us do that. So that's why we're able to grow year long. And really our toughest season is not in the winter time, it's summertime.
Yeah, because it gets so hot during the summertime, like things like the lettuce, they do get burned. I mean, because they need cooler temperature to...
They'll start bolting pretty quick, and yeah, it doesn't look good for presentation.
Right,
and,
yeah.
So again, we try to, I guess, control as much as we can environmentally. And so that's why we utilize our wet wall, and it really does help us out in the summer.
Yeah, and I can tell people, if you get lettuce from a grocery store, it's different from if you get the lettuce from here, because the leaves look different. I mean, here the lettuce, they look almost picture perfect, opposed to a lettuce.
I'm blushing over here.
Opposed to a lettuce that you get from the grocery store. That, I mean, it comes from, like you say, California. It's battered, it's moved from truck to truck, it's moved from hands to hands, and even though it has handled with care, that means nothing for the person that's delivering it. It's just
100%. I think it goes back to local, the environmental impact, the carbon footprint. I mean, this kind of sums it all up in aquaponics, shopping locally, going to local restaurants. I mean, that's to me, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I think we also have some herbs over here, Joe.
Yeah, we actually have some mint growing. So those people that like, obviously, mint dishes, or,
I mean,
a little mojito, I don't know. Oregano.
Joe, before we head out, what do we have here? What do you have going on?
What we're doing is we're experimenting with a wet wall. And so what this wet wall is going to let us do is kind of more or less utilize and have all our herbs in one spot. And so it's kind of nice, Shepard, we're using the same water that's in our system, so it's the nitrate-rich, non-GMO, non-chemicals. So it all goes in here, and so what we're doing is we're growing some different herbs that we're going to put in our wet wall.
And these are cilantro, right?
It is. We have cilantro going here, some parsley, and some chives. Better say it like it smells good.
It smells really good. I mean, the cilantro... A lot of people don't like cilantro because most people say it tastes like soap.
Yes.
And it's strong, but you can actually use it in cilantro dish. I mean, if you're making some chickpea, add some cilantro to it. It's really good. This would give the cilantro. Sometimes you buy cilantro and you can't even taste that it is actual cilantro. I mean, this you can taste the cilantro.
100%.
Cilantro is saying, say my name, say my name.
I like my cilantro.
Right, it's really good. All right, Joe, what do we have going on over here with these fish? Which one is ready and which one is not? So
actually, what we do is we rotate out. About every 6 weeks, we do harvest some fish. What's great about it, not only do we just use it for restaurants as well, but some people actually will come and use them in their ponds to keep the algae out and some different things. So not only do we just serve restaurants for meat or protein, but we actually sell them to people for live. So every 6 weeks we harvest about 70 tilapia that have been all naturally fed their entire lives.
Yeah.
So they taste great, and I think you guys had
we had a dinner where you were at the dinner,
yes.
And a lot of the people that were at the dinner did not recognize that we actually served them tilapia because we wanted them to try and figure out what type of fish it was. The meat was so rich and very thick for a tilapia that you would think that tilapia. A lot of people have such a very negative connotation on tilapia, and oh my God, they're filled with chemicals and they're farm raised, but sustainable farm raising your fish is like sustainable farming your vegetables and everything else. It's clean.
It's clean, and it's just a whole environmental. It's like that whole cycle of life, right? So you have the fish, you have your protein, you have your plant-based meals.
Right.
It's just it all works together, like
right.
in the environment. So that's what we love about it.
Joe, can you show us, do you have any, can you pick us some of the fish?
Yeah, we
and
can
let's
give it a
see.
shot. We'll see how good of a fisherman I am.
Yeah.
You want to pull it out?
I know he can't cook, but he can probably fish.
That's what my wife says. Bear with me just a sec.
Well, I guess he can fish.
So there we have our tilapia.
And I'll tell you, they are quite tasty.
They're pretty good.
They're big flippers.
Yes, they are. But again, what's great about it is we do not we have about 70, so we have about 2 gallons of water per fish, which obviously keeps it pretty good for the fish as well.
Yeah.
So we don't overcrowd them.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us today at Reparation Earth Farm. We did a really good tour today, and Joe, thank you for the educational moment with the farm. I mean, a lot of people doesn't know about Reparation Farm or aquaponic or hydroponics, the difference, and it was quite informative today. So if you wish to join Joe at Reparation Farm, how can we reach you, Joe?
Yeah, 100%. We are online. Our website's reparationearth.com. You can find us there as well as Facebook. We are getting better with Instagram, and Chef Richard, I think, is going to show me up here about where you can reach him.
Right. So I'm Chef Richard from Pink Salt Restaurant. You can reach us at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you can reach us at pinksaltrestaurant.com, or call us at the restaurant at 904-513-4548. Again, thank you guys for joining us at Reparation Earth.
Thank you.
Thank you.